Welcome back to Football Barbie, where we talk about anything and everything football here. Now, each season in the NFL, every team submits their, what rules they would like to be seen versus not. And we are going to talk about what is new in the NFL for 2023 as opposed to rule changes. What rules do you think your team is going to have to encounter?
Hold up, wait a minute. Y'all thought I was finished?
So, let's get it started and talk about the 2023 NFL rule changes. What passed, what didn't, who submitted what rule for what team. So, let's first start by looking at the 2023 approved playing rules. So, a rule change is now the players can wear the number 0 as a jersey number. Kickers and punters can use any jersey number between 0 to 49 and 90 to 99, except for offensive and defensive linemen. This rule was amended Rule 5, Section 1, Article 2. The rule change was proposed by the Philadelphia Eagles, my team, because now Mr. DeAndre Swift is going to be wearing it starting this season. He can catch a football and he can be a running back as well. He is a very good player. He was on the Lions that we acquired from him during the draft, and now we're going to be seeing how everybody can do. Next rule is referees will adjust the play clock after an instant replay reversal, the same way they would any other game stoppage. Players will no longer have to signal for more time to the referees in such situations. Amended Rule 4, Section 6, Article 3, Section 7, Article 4. The rule change was proposed by the Los Angeles Chargers. The next rule change is replay official will be allowed to review a close failed fourth down attempt automatically. Teams will not have to challenge it if it is a close play. It will help speed the game up, and since the replay official has jurisdiction to review automatically. This was amended Rule 15, Section 1, Article 2. The rule change proposed by the Houston Texans. So this will be interesting. Now your every fourth down failed attempt when you're fourth and inches and nobody got it versus not will be automatically replayed so we can figure out whether or not it actually did happen. So that is a good thing. Next, your rule change is a launch is now if a player leaves, so a launch for a player is now if they leave one or both feet to make a tackle. A launch is already a personal foul, which is a 15-yard penalty, but the competition committee proposed to change the definition of a launch for this aspect. So at least it's already a 15-yard penalty. I mean, what can we do? But, hopefully nobody's launching at other players like that. Okay? The next rule change that was approved is a player can be called for tripping, which results in a 15-yard penalty and an automatic first down. Now, that's kind of serious. The competition committee did propose to make this tripping a personal foul, so nobody ever wants a personal foul for that to be called. The next rule that was changed was teams will be penalized for handing the ball off forward. Handoffs will have to be behind the quarterback or equal to the quarterback. So now that's definitely a whole different ball field. Nobody can be doing some crazy plays out and forward. I know the one team, was it the Patriots who lost to the Raiders that game? Or was it the Seahawks or whatever? Seahawks, the Patriots had lost to the Raiders, I think, last season due to some crazy handoff thing. I'm sure that's definitely something that nobody wants to happen. I'm sure the Eagles, though, have done that as well. Next is the competition committee did propose making handling the ball forward to as a legal forward pass to be the same. The next rule change is illegal punts, drop kicks, or place kicks will now result in the same penalty as an illegal forward pass. So we don't want those problems either. Next, your approved rule change is offenses will be not allowed an untimely down because of an offensive penalty after the time expires at the half. The competition committee proposed not allowing the offense to benefit with an extra play before halftime because of an offensive penalty. Lastly, for an approved rule change, you have rule change. The words but, ram, or spear will be removed from Article 8 and adds the same words into penalty for impermissible use of the helmet. The competition committee proposed clarifying the use of a helmet against an opponent. Okay, so those were the actual approved rules. Now, as for the approved bylaws. So the 2023 approved bylaws are: players waived on the Friday and Saturday of the last week of the regular season will be allowed to be claimed the following Monday. The competition committee proposed allowing these players to be claimed on Monday so teams can add them to their rosters earlier in the week ahead of the playoffs and thus eligible to play. That's definitely going to be a good thing. Another rule change for approved bylaws is the strength of victory is now going to be the second tiebreaker for awarding contracts. The competition committee proposed the strength of a victory as a second tiebreaker for awarding contracts versus a previous tiebreaker of conference record. Something to definitely note. Another one is rule change. Postseason signings will account for standard elevation rules. Postseason rosters will freeze at 4 p.m. Eastern on the Wednesday following the last week of the regular season. The competition committee proposed allowing the league and teams to better account for their postseason roster and to clarify a new time to finalize playoff rosters. Then we have the category of 2023 approved resolutions. So, rule change. Regular season and postseason roster transaction deadlines will now be the same. Saturday night postseason games will have a transaction deadline of 4 p.m. Eastern on that same Saturday. So the competition committee proposed allowing last-minute decision teams make in the regular season to extend into the postseason. Another rule change for this is teams will need to provide greater clarity regarding a player's availability for its game. It was proposed by the Los Angeles Chargers. No specific language teams are just mandated to be clear about who and who is not playing. Okay? And for the last one for this category is rule change. NFL rosters will remain at 90 throughout the entire preseason, and then they have one day to trim their roster from 90 to 53. I do not want to be in whoever's shoes that is, because that sucks. So this was actually proposed by 25 NFL teams, and it will establish one preseason roster reduction date and related procedures. Now, as for failed 2023 rule changes, to allow roughing the passer to be a reviewable call. So this was proposed by the Rams, and it comes in multiple instances last season when roughing the passer penalties were called on a quarterback, and the cracks that seemed, the people who hit them, the cracks seemed very fairly like ordinary tackles. So this was actually denied. So this was not allowed. Another rule that was denied is to allow teams to go for on 4th and 20 following a score instead of an onside kick. Because this was proposed by the Eagles, it comes in response to an all-time low rate of 4% for onside kicks being covered. That actually really sucks, though. I really like watching onside kicks. I think it's very exciting. You know, you don't ever want to be the team opposed to somebody, though, who does get the onside kick, because especially if you're normally towards the end of the game, you don't want those problems, but you really never know. Also, the last rule was to revive the game day roster spot rule that allowed teams to have an emergency passer who didn't count towards a roster. This was proposed by the Lions, so this rule did fail for now. I did see that this might try to come back up, though, at a later meeting, because the 49ers, we all know, did lose every quarterback on the roster in the NFC Championship game, where the 49ers played the Eagles and the Eagles beat the 49ers in the postseason. So these are some of your major rule changes in the NFL, and let me know what you think. I would love for everybody to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. I do respond to all comments, and love you. Ta-ta for now.